Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to Spill the Tea Lou. My name is Lou. You are all here. Merry Christmas. I see Rob. I see Guess. I see bored Dave Boy. Everybody saying Merry Christmas. We're all in a good mood. Obviously, we have a little poll because I am unbelievable at tech and I figured out how to make a poll on YouTube while I was live. So now we have a poll. And just to answer Guess's question, was it tech issues or was it the cat? It was the cat causing a kind of tech issue because what she did when I was at work was she snuck into the office where the computers are and she knocked the tripod that holds the camera, but I didn't realize. So I sat down, everything was set up, and I was like, that's a really strange angle. I feel like that's not the angle we normally speak to each other. What it was she had knocked it down. So it had like sunk down, like those chairs that move up and down. It was kind of like that. So I don't think it was technically tech, but it was related to the camera, but it was related to the camera because of the cat. So it was actually all just everything came together. All the things that can go wrong went wrong, but it was okay. We're right. Sorry I'm late because, again, it's so rude when people do that. I did attempt to be here on time, did my best, but look, it's nice to see everybody. How are we all feeling? Are we all excited? Have we been good for Santa? Please do remember also to smash a like on your way in, my lovelies, because the more people like it, the more people will get told about us. They will be able to join our Christmas party. I was thinking of doing a bit of an extended show this evening because I've neglected you lot. I haven't been live for a few days and I thought I'll do a bit of a bumper one before Christmas. That was wrong because the Carabao Cup's on, so we're not going to be doing that. But it was a thought, and it's the thought that counts in these situations, isn't it? But let's get started because we're going to be here till 8 o'clock and then everybody's going to go and watch the football. We're all going to get merry. We're all going to eat chocolates. I am going to work tomorrow morning because I'm a workaholic, and then I'm going to be off from tomorrow at 1 o'clock for the whole rest of Christmas Eve. I'm going to be off all of Christmas Day. I'm going to be off all of St. Stephen's Day, Boxing Day, whatever it is you call it. And then after that, normal service will resume. So just to say at the very start, and I want to say this so I don't forget it, after tonight, I'm not going to be live tomorrow or Christmas Day. I don't intend to be live on St. Stephen's Day, Boxing Day, unless I get bored, unless something wild happens, unless I just miss you so much that I have to come live and say hi. After that, as I said, normal service will resume. If you need your fix of YouTube, if you need your fix of football content, if you're at a loose end, if you're sick of your family, if you're looking for something to do over the Christmas period, please do get subscribed to Kate and Jimbo. Kate and Jimbo will be live over the Christmas period. They will even be live on Christmas Day. Unbelievable by them, giving their time up. But they love you lot. They love talking football. They'd miss you too much to go the whole Christmas period. So they will be live over the Christmas period. So after the show, do go and get subscribed to Kate and Jimbo. Now, all fans are welcome over there. You don't have to be a fan of a certain club. Everybody's welcome. They're a lovely little group. Their chat's lovely as well. I'm in there regular. They're really, really nice. So if you're at a loose end, if you want a football chat over the Christmas period, do check out Kate and Jimbo. They haven't paid me to say that. I just like them a lot. Hello. I see everybody coming in. I see all the love hearts, the Christmas trees. I see cookies. So, oh yes, Guess with the link. Guess is fantastic with the link. How can I? No, I was trying to pin it. I don't know how to pin it. I'm going to put it here. Can I pin this? Maybe I can't pin it because there's a poll. Let me see. Pin message. Excellent. It's pinned. Yes, Ash, cookies. Scroll up. She said cookies. Cookies for everyone. All right, Ash, huh? Funny. I know they're called biscuits, but she said cookies, so I said cookies. Now, funny stuff. But yes, let me just check one thing here. Sorry if I'm shouting at you. We're going to talk about Alexander Isak, basically. We're going to start there. We're not going to stay there for very long because I know everybody's talking about it and I don't want people to get bored. Oh, you're laughing at how I say cookies. How do you say cookies? I mean, cookies. There's a double O, like a book. You read a book. You eat a cookies. You cook in the kitchen. It's an ooh sound. Like, what school did you go to? It's phonetics. Ash, you should be learning phonetics right now. I know you should be learning phonetics. A double O, produces an ooh sound. Cookies. So I'm glad we can... No, that's definitely not what I said. That's not what anybody should be saying. You shouldn't eat those. Now, before I get banned off YouTube and Ash along with me, we are going to talk about Alexander Isak. Oh, hello, Winnie. Lovely to see you. Yous are all such bullies. Bullies everywhere. Winnie loves a pack of cookies when he's in Sunderland. Oh, I speak normally. I don't know what's wrong with the rest of you. We might not talk about football at all. We might just laugh at me saying strange words. I wonder what other words. Put in other words you think I might pronounce different, not strange, normal, but different. Put them in. Unless they're rude, I'll say them out loud. And you can figure out which ones I say right and which ones I say wrong. But in the meantime, I am going to talk about Alexander Isak and his leg. So look, it has come out. Let me see. I prepared a thing. I don't know which thing it is. Is it this one? Is this one? Okie dokie, let's pull it up. So, I don't know if you can see that very well. There we are. There's Alexander Isak, looking a bit sad. Everybody's looking a bit worried. Fabrizio Romano said this yesterday. Breaking. Alexander Isak will be out for months after surgery done following fracture. Liverpool record signing, just for everybody who didn't hear it, underwent surgery on Monday on an ankle injury that included a fibula fracture. Now, fibula isn't your ankle, so there's two different things there. The staff believes Isak will be able to play again this season, but as of now, he'll be sidelined for months. Now, look, we all have a bit of a laugh and a giggle. We all have a bit of fun with it, but you never want to see an injury like this to a player. It's really, really sad. It's very unfortunate. He seems to have the worst luck in the world because we spoke only recently about, yeah, that's what I mean, Ash. So it's the whole front. It's basically like your shin. It's the whole bit up the front. But I mean, I wouldn't associate it with being your ankle bone. Like it's your ankle bone is a different name. The fibula is the one at the front, and the tibia is the one at the back, and the femur is the one on the top. The big one. Yeah, I know. And this one is called your ulna. Just in case anyone was wondering, your ulna and your radius. I know all the bones of the body, Ash. I'm clever. I'm a clever cookie. Right, okay. So he has a broken tibia and fibula. Oh, you broke your tibia and fibula. All right. Outdo Alexander Isak, why don't you, Ash? But look, it's not, we don't want to see that. We don't want to see that. And I know we have a laugh and a joke, but we never do it when we think it's serious. When we know it's serious, you know, you do have to be understanding that it's horrible for the player that's involved. It's horrible for his family, for his team. It's not great. And we looked at his injury record only recently when we were going through all of the different strikers, the summer of the striker, how have they been performing so far? Obviously, most of the talk around Alexander Isak was that he has been not performing and his checkered injury history. He had 2 pages. You remember 2 pages on Transfer Market of injuries. Well, this is going to be another big one. Obviously, this isn't down to like his body breaking down or a tear or something that's not working within him. It was just a really unfortunate result of the challenge from Van der Ven. I don't want to get into whether it was a good challenge, bad challenge, because I think that's been talked about to death. But it's concerning for Liverpool because Liverpool didn't have a particularly good start to the season. They've obviously drastically moved up the table. Where are they now? Let's have a look at them. Where are they now? They're in 5th now. So, like, they've obviously started to improve because, like, ages ago, they were so bad. They were down in the middle of the table. So they've drastically started to improve. That is primarily to do with Ekitike, if you ask me. But I mean, what they don't want is at this stage of the season, coming into Christmas, just when they're starting to hit their stride, that their record signing has broken his leg/ankle, because he's basically, I know they've said they expect him to be back this season, but I mean, okay, let's say it heals this season, but then he has to get back into training and he'll have to do it off the grass, then it'll be on the grass solo, then it'll be back into the team and build up his fitness. And then by the time you do all that and he's back in, sure, the season will be over. Do you know what I mean? Because it's not, you don't want to rush him back either and create other problems. And look, some people have been saying that it's not only the fracture that's the issue, that he has actually torn and damaged ligaments and what are the other stringy things that are inside your legs? The other pieces that are inside your ligaments and the other ones. Anyway, they're all hurt. So there's a huge amount of damage done. And I agree with Winnie here. I would not be getting him back on the pitch this season. Just give him the rest of the season. Muscles, there might be muscles and not nerves. And maybe it was muscles, Ash. There's something else though. The other things, ligaments, and what else can you tear? Maybe it was muscles. Stringy things. You know what I mean, lads. I'm not a doctor. Despite what Dave Boy says, it's not a medical show. I just know the bones because we had a teacher in school and his name was Mr. Lyons. He was a lovely, lovely man. And his introduction to us was that his name is Mr. Lyons, and then he roared at us like a lion, and then he taught us all the bones of the body. And tendons, yes, tendons. 10 points to Guess, 10 points to Ash, no points to Rob. Rob, cartilage is the hard stuff. It's like in your nose and things. That's the hard stuff. We might all be on the hard stuff this Christmas. Sorry, guys, this stream is going to be chaos. I can just feel it. I can feel it in all of my bones. This stream is going to be chaos. I've got about 2 sentences out about football, but you know what? It's Christmas. It doesn't matter. I haven't even had a drink yet. I would just like to let everybody know I am stone cold sober here. This is just my natural chaotic nature. But yes. Where did I? Yeah, let's go back to this point because I've gotten distracted. I have to stop reading the chat. You're all distracting me as they're saying things. I'm reading the things as they're saying, and then I'm actually losing the track of what I'm saying, which really I suppose is the way it should be because it means you're in charge of everything, and I'm just actually I'm actually just facilitating. I'm not a host or anything. I'm a facilitator. Not a facilitator. That's a bad thing to say. Right, Winnie. Focus, football, reports. Yes, reports said he may play again this season, but I would just give him the season off. I would also give him, sorry, he's just keeping, I'm going to get to it. I would also give him the season off. Don't rush him back. You know he's an injury-prone player. You know he's had serious injuries before. You know he's had long layoffs before. This is clearly a complicated injury. There's bones, there's ligaments, there's tendons. All the things are hurt. The stringy things are bad. The hard things are bad. It's not good. Give him the rest of the season off and just let him build his fitness back up, have the pre-season that he never got this season through his own fault, and then start over. Because let's face it, this season wasn't going particularly well for him anyway. Let him just start over. But what I actually wanted to ask is, and here I am, 13 minutes into the show, and I'm actually going to be able to ask you this question. Do you think this means that Liverpool now have to go in to the January transfer market? Do they have to do it? Because Ekitike, while he has been absolutely stellar, I think he's up there competing for signing off the summer. But I mean, the intention was always to have Ekitike and Isak. So if you're not going to have Isak, do they need to go into the transfer window? If they do go into the transfer window, how much are they allowed to spend? Because I know they didn't spend the previous summer, but then they spent a huge amount the summer just gone. So I don't know what way their finances are. I'll be honest. I understand the financial stuff, but there's a lot to it, and I just find it a bit boring. So Ash is saying that he has no problem selling another striker to Liverpool for £130 million. And in fact, he suggests that they may want to buy Wissa, who has a not as long, but similarly concerning injury record to Alexander Isak. So maybe they would like him. He did just recently score a goal, so he's on a hot streak. But yes, I mean, if I was Newcastle, I would want to be selling him away off. I just see here, Winnie is saying Semenyo just picked City. Winnie, is that I don't even know if I can get into my X on this. Is that Ornstein? Is that Fabrizio, who is saying that? I don't think it's ever. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. Read in it from David Ornstein. Look, there we are. Semenyo. So we have Winnie, 10 points for Winnie, 10 points for Redinit. And that just means that Alexander Isak is in the bin. We're done talking about him. It also means if Liverpool do need to move in the summer and sign an attacking player, it is not going to be Semenyo. Now, I do find that interesting because he is reported to be an Arsenal fan. Arsenal were reported to be interested in him. They weren't planning on moving on him till the summer. And I suppose there was talk that maybe because he's an Arsenal fan and because they are interested in him, just not right now this minute, that potentially he would wait until the summer to move to Arsenal. And then obviously there was talk that he was favouring a move to Liverpool. And then obviously now it's come out. I'm just trying to get it up. So bear with me a minute. If I can get it, I will find David Ornstein for you. Let me see. David Ornstein. There he is. Let's see. Can I find... Is it a tweet? If it's not a tweet, please let me know. Okay. I've got it. Share this tab. Okay, David, look at us. Look at this. Who ever thought that I would have the capabilities while live to log into my Twitter to find David Ornstein and to actually find the tweet? And Ash on it, Ash actually beat Guess to a link. He's put the link in the chat so everybody can see it while we're talking about it. Don't leave the stream. Stay here. We're going to read it together. But I mean... you can find it. You'll be able to have a look at it by yourself. So, David Ornstein, exclusive, Antoine Semenyo, preference is to join Man City in January. Nothing formal until market opens. But, the attacker favours Manchester City. Man United pushed hard and never planned to use 25-year-old at the wing-back. But a winter switch was always tough for MUFC. Well, no harm, but everything is tough for MUFC at the minute, David. Thanks for letting us know. We weren't aware that our club was in a bit of a quandary. But yeah, so there you go. David Ornstein is saying that City, and this is 4 minutes ago, so it's very recent. But yeah, so Semenyo to City in January looks to be the thing. Isn't that just horrible? Because they're so good anyway. They've already got Haaland and Foden and other great players. Do they really need this one as well? Can they not just leave anybody for the rest of us? This is why people don't like him. Fabrizio did it ages ago. All right, lad, I was driving home from work and nobody told me. So really what we're saying is we should be giving Fabrizio the credit. Did he say anything different to David, or did he more or less just say the same thing? Let's see. Look at this for great live content. Sure, we're unreal, lads. Hit the like button. I mean, look at this navigation skill while live. I'm unbelievable. So I deserve a like for this. So Fabrizio, 42 minutes ago, so Ash is correct, nearly an hour ago. Understand Manchester City have been pushing a lot in the last 12 hours to try advance on Antoine Semenyo deal. Director Viana in direct talks with the players' camp as Manchester City want final answer as soon as possible. Man United are still insisting. Liverpool are monitoring. Chelsea are out. I mean, I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm laughing just the way he's written it. But yeah, so look, there we are. Antoine Semenyo looks like it's going to be to Manchester City, not Manchester United. Because we can insist all we want, but if he doesn't want to come, he doesn't want to come. Liverpool are still monitoring, which isn't going to do much for them. Chelsea have changed their mind. Chelsea only came in from today a few hours ago, and then all of a sudden they're right for him again. So I'm assuming that means he let them know that he wasn't particularly interested. And I agree with Rob. We need midfielders first. Anyway, Semenyo is a fantastic player. Really, really good. I've watched him quite a bit this season. I think he's been very good. I think whoever gets him are lucky to have him. But I think we are easily distracted. Manchester United are as easily distracted as me. And that's not what you need in a recruitment team. So we need midfielders. We need a central defender. If we buy Semenyo, he's not going to play in either of those positions. So while I think he would be an addition to the team, he's not a priority, and he would not be playing in a position that we need to prioritize right now. And we are like little magpies. We get distracted by shiny things. And we just need to stop that because there's other things that we need to do first. So maybe they're saving us from ourselves. Now, the next thing I want to move, so we've spoken about Isak, we've spoken about, actually, did any of you tell me? I don't know if he's answered me because I was asking you the question and then we got distracted by Semenyo. So, do you think that Liverpool now need to move in the January transfer window because they had intended to have Alexander Isak and Hugo Ekitike? Obviously, Isak is going to be out for the vast majority of the rest of the season, if not for the whole rest of the season. My secret's out. My secret's out. Not only am I a Newcastle fan, everybody's a Newcastle fan. Very good. But yeah, so do you think, yes or no, into the chat for me, do you think that Liverpool need to move in the January transfer window? Do you think they will move in the January transfer window? And I don't know, as I said, I don't really know what their financial situation is. Are they able to? So let me know, should they move? And if so, who should they move for? Like, who would even be available as an attacker? Or do you think that they can go for the rest of the season with Ekitike? He's going to stay fit. He's good enough. He's putting the numbers up. There's no need to panic. They can do it anyway. So let me know what you guys think. And obviously, you have seen on your way into the chat, I hope you've all voted on it. You have seen coming into the chat that there is a poll. And I was just a little bit curious to see what everybody thought. It's quite unanimous. Can Aston Villa win the Premier League this year? Now, this isn't something I've plucked out of thin air. This is something that, let me see. I need to push the buttons. What's that song? Push the button. Was it the Sugar Babes sang that? It was a good song in the elevator. So yes, Aston Villa. Can you see them? Are they big enough? Number 3 in the Premier League, 36 points, 3 points behind Arsenal and 1 point behind Manchester City. So the fact is, if Manchester City on 37 points are in a title race, having won 5 of their last games, then why would Aston Villa on 36 points and 10 wins in a row, 5 wins in their last 5 games, how can you possibly say that they are not in a title race? If Manchester City is in a title race, Aston Villa are in a title race. Sorry, I don't care if you don't like it. That's the way the cookie crumbles. And can I just say, I've seen a lot of people saying, oh, well, this form isn't sustainable. I mean, where have we heard that before? But the form is not sustainable. You can't if I hear the word sustainable one more time, honestly, my head might explode, because genuinely, it just feels like, you know, the way every season there's like new buzzwords. This year, it's sustainable. Is this sustainable? What are we doing? Recycling. So Aston Villa have 10 in a row. Now, that is all competitions, but I mean, 10. 10's a lot. We can't even get 5. And they've got 10. So and they're on a +9 goal difference. So it's not as if like they're on a minus goal difference or anything. But people saying it's not sustainable. First of all, people said what Arsenal were doing wasn't sustainable. It's not sustainable. They can't keep it up. It's not going to last. They're not going to be top of Christmas. I mean, hello, they are going to be top of Christmas. It very clearly is sustainable because they have remained top of the league. I mean, so it was sustainable. What I would also say is, when Liverpool at the start of the season were dreadful, they were getting the results, but their performances were really, really poor. And people said, well, what will happen is eventually their performances will follow the results and they will have the performances improve to match the results that they're already getting. Aston Villa, people are saying, well, they haven't been performing well. They've been winning matches they didn't deserve to win. Therefore, this form is not sustainable because eventually what's going to happen is their results will start to match their performances. And I find it interesting that with Liverpool, people gave them the benefit of the doubt and their results were going to follow their performances, which wasn't what happened, by the way. The results started to follow the performances and they started to do really badly, and only now we're starting to turn it around. But for quite a while, people said, no, they will turn it around, and they're getting the results. And you hear this all the time. That's what champions do. That's what winners do, is they win the matches they shouldn't win. They win the scrappy results. They take the points. So all of these things that people say, like, why don't they apply to Villa? Why don't they apply to Aston Villa? Because we hear these things season in, season out. We've heard them all this season. We've heard it about Arsenal. We've heard it about Liverpool. We've heard it about multiple teams. Champions win when they're not supposed to. Champions get the points even when they're performing badly. If you're getting the points, that's the only thing that matter. And I hear all these people talk about stats, or this stat, that stat, the stats aren't good, and therefore, if the underlying stats aren't good, it's not possible that they are going to win the Premier League. And I'm like, well, really? Obviously, you want your stats to be good, the same way you want your performances to be good, but they're extras. They're like the cherry on top. They're like if you get, garlic cheese chips and someone says, do you want some bacon bits on the top? They're the extra, they're the bacon bits. Do you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, the only stat that matters is wins and losses. And the fact is they are racking up the wins and they don't look like slowing down. And can I also just say, Manchester City, while they have a squad of unbelievable players and apparently are going to be adding another one to that, but they're relying very, very heavily on Erling Haaland's goals. And if many of us have said, if Erling Haaland was to get injured, and we're not wishing that on him, but in this hypothetical situation, if he was to get injured, the same way as when Rodri got injured, it had a big impact on their team, would they still be performing to the same levels? So I see people saying, oh, well, Morgan Rogers is doing so well. Morgan Rogers is scoring loads of goals. Morgan Rogers versus Manchester United, not Aston Villa. 2 wonder goals is what beat Manchester United. Now, they were 2 very good goals, but I mean, loads of teams do that. Loads of teams rely on star players. So, for example, this season with Liverpool, Mohamed Salah, their star player, did not have a good start to the season. He was not performing well. Therefore, Liverpool as a whole were not performing well. Now, we know there was a lot of other factors to it, but their star performer was not performing and they were dropping points. So, if you can, if the big teams can do it, what is this? And I think I've probably just said it there by accident. I've talked myself into it. So the big teams, it's okay. The big teams, if you're a champion, you get the 3 points in a win you don't deserve, and that's champions material. That's what winners do, is they win when they're not supposed to. And then big teams like City, well, you can rely on a star player. Liverpool, you can rely on a star player because they're so good, and big teams have big players and big stars. But when you're Aston Villa, no, well, it's not sustainable. You're going to fall off and you can't rely on Morgan Rogers to be good for a whole season. Why not? What is the difference? Marv has made it. Has Marv snuck out of his work meeting to join us? Well done, Marv. Good job. That's exactly what you should be doing. So I suppose I'm just a bit why are the rules different? I don't see why. And I mean, I do have a bit of a soft spot for Villa, but I'm not feeling particularly cuddly about them at the moment after our last match. I mean, hello, they've just taken points off my team that I want to get into the spot that they're in, my team that needs to be in Europe because we can't afford another year out of it. So I'm not particularly feeling fuzzy and cuddly about Aston Villa this week, of all the weeks. But I feel like it's unfair the way they're being judged, the way they're being played down. And I mean, the amount of people, and you will remember this because I've done several videos about Sunderland, as you all know, as you've all enjoyed. But I mean, the amount of people that said what Sunderland were doing weren't sustainable. It's not sustainable. They're not going to stay up there. Oh, well, we're not talking about them. Oh, well, it's not real. I mean, we're 17 games into the season, and there's Sunderland, number 6, lads. 27 points. Above Manchester United, above Newcastle, above Spurs, above a lot of teams that would have expected to be outdoing them. So I don't think that you can really say it's not sustainable, because how do you know? What makes you the oracle? Now, let me see. Sorry, had a bit of a rant there. Had to get it off my chest. Sticking up for the little man. I just think it's a bit ridiculous. So Ash says, I think because Villa didn't buy in the window and lost players, so everyone didn't expect them to improve. And that's fair, because at the start of the season, I looked, when I was doing my wee predictions thing, Ash would have done it as well. When we were doing our wee predictions thing, I looked at the transfer windows, who went in, who went out, what teams had kind of grown, what teams had maybe shrunk, the talent that left. And I can see before the season people saying that they didn't expect Villa to do particularly well. I understand that. It makes complete sense with the information that we had at the time. But we've a lot more information now, and they are doing it. And we've seen them doing it. And I would call 10 games pretty consistent. Because as I said, my team can't hit 5. My team can't really get to 3 at the minute. That poor boy is just going to be, he's like cousin it, so he will be out of the Addams family. What I will also say, let me, where is this? And I didn't pick week 6 on purpose. It was just, I went to the Premier League match weeks and I just scrolled. And when I got bored scrolling, I just picked the first one that I could find. So let's take a look. This was the standings for Premier League match week 6. So quite some time ago. And as Ash was saying there, Villa didn't particularly strengthen in the transfer window, and they did lose a lot of talent, and they did have a dreadful start to the season, down in 16th. So by the end of match week 6, Aston Villa were down in 16th. Now, to go from 16th in week 6 all the way up to 3rd in week 17 is unbelievable. That's really good. And if you had said to anybody at the time this was going to happen, people would have said, no, they can't. No team. It's unlikely for any team, particularly Villa, to go on a run like that. Maybe Manchester City. Aston Villa can't do that. Not just any old team can do that. So if we didn't think they could have done it in the first place, and they have, what's to say they can't keep it going? So, Ash, I did a prediction at the start of the season and I put Villa first by game week 6. You might have been wrong, Ash. You might have been too far the other way, but maybe you just got the game week wrong. We'll give you that. We'll just say you got the game week wrong. Maybe they're going to be top at the end. So maybe half of your prediction will come through. But let's see, what's Marv got to say to us? Villa can possibly get Europa again, but it will be difficult for them playing on multiple fronts. Marv, that was my next question. So, not only are they 3rd in the Premier League, but Aston Villa are actually also 3rd. Oh, that's not the one. Are also 3rd. Let me see. We'll just do it like this because it's not doing what I wanted to do. Hello, Cara. Oh, hello. No, right. Okay. Let me see if I can get it because it's not behaving. It's not doing what I wanted to do. Why not? Bum bum bum. Yeah, I'll see that. Why will it not just? Oh, it's because. I'm such a silly idiot. It won't show me the Carabao Cup because I'm on the Premier League website. What I need to do is go on to SofaScore, which was actually open in another window. I'm just not organised. Almost organised, but not quite. So here we are. We've discussed this several times. So, I've lost the plot, lads. I've lost the plot. The reason I couldn't find the Carabao Cup is because I wasn't looking for the Carabao Cup. I was looking for the Europa. That's what we've done wrong. I've clicked the wrong button. We were in the wrong competition. We were in the wrong country. We're in the wrong place altogether. But I've got it together. I have got it together. Wait till you see this. Right. We've got there. We are going to talk about the Carabao Cup, but not yet, and not in terms of Villa. Welcome, Mama Flossie. Don't worry, don't worry. We said nice things about you. Oh, and Ash has declared that we are all Newcastle fans. That was the only thing you've missed so far this stream. So yes, excuse me and the fact that I can't talk, can't speak, can't type. But we've got there. So not only are Aston Villa third in the Premier League, they're also third in the table for the Europa League, and they're only third by goal difference. They're actually on 15 points. So you've got 3 teams there, Lyon, Midtjylland and Aston Villa on 15 points. So that brings us back to, where did Marv's point go? So if Aston Villa are to have any chance whatsoever at winning the Premier League, I've seen most people say they would have to just completely throw Europe in the bin. Just forget about Europe, that they're not capable, they don't have the squad, they don't have the fitness, they don't have the numbers to compete on both fronts. So they're going to have to give it up in Europe to then maybe give themselves the best chance of potentially having a chance of winning the Premier League. If they're going to have any chance at all, they're not going to be able to fight on both fronts. Now, I understand the sense in that, because if you have a smaller squad, and as we've just said, they did lose a number of players in the last transfer window, it's very, very hard to compete on both fronts. Do we think that Emery is the type of manager who would pull a Jose Mourinho? And the reason I ask that is because when Jose Mourinho was at Manchester United, he absolutely put the Premier League in the bin to concentrate on European football, on, I think it was the Europa. So he wouldn't be the first coach, Unai Emery, to drop one competition and focus completely on another. But is he the type of manager to do that? And I don't know. I don't feel like he's the type of manager that would do that. Now, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he would. Let me know. Maybe you know more about him than me. I don't feel like it's the kind of thing he would do. But what do you think? Do you think he would? Do you think it's advisable? Do you think he should? Or do you think he should face facts that Aston Villa just can't win the Premier League, let City and Arsenal duke it out, and completely concentrate on the Europa League? Because maybe he can win that. And he has won that a number of times in his career. So he definitely knows how to win this competition. But what do you reckon? If it was your club, what would you want your manager to be doing? What do you think is realistic for them to be doing? I want to get into some of your comments. So let me see. I also want to get rid of the things that I'm no longer using, because as you've seen, I am rather easily confused and we don't want that. Okay, I've got rid of the unnecessary things. So, hello streets, welcome. Everybody's coming in, everybody's filtering in. Please smash a like on your way in, because I know for me, when I get to somewhere that I enjoy, when I see my friends, when I want to talk to the people, sometimes I am straight into the chat and I forget to smash the like button. And then somebody has to remind me and I'm like, oh yeah, I did the thing. I pushed the button. So please do smash a like on your way in. People, it is lovely to see everybody. But yes, so I see Rob. Rob has answered me. Thank you, Rob. I think he should go for Europe. So you reckon they have a better chance of winning the Europa League, and that therefore he should concentrate on the Europa League and just accept the fact basically that, look, it's very unlikely that they're going to win the Premier League. Let the other two duke it out and concentrate on Europe. I mean, again, I completely understand that. I suppose just from a United fan point of view, and as you are, Rob, I don't want Arsenal or City to win the league. So I really hope Villa can do it. I also think it's interesting, and look, this narrative, if Villa do stay around, and Villa's next match, I believe, is Chelsea. Let me see. I am pretty sure their next match is Chelsea. Yes. So Aston Villa play Chelsea next, and after that, they actually play Arsenal. So I think that is going to be very, very telling. If they can beat Chelsea, which wouldn't be the craziest thing, because I think they definitely can beat Chelsea. I mean, they're already 7 points ahead of them. So if Aston Villa beat Chelsea, and if they can even get a draw against Arsenal, if they take 4 points out of those next 2 matches, I think they really are serious contenders. I really think they can do it. And it's not as if their players are without talent. It's not as if Unai Emery is without experience. He's a bit of a wily guy. And I do also think if, like, Arteta's job is already under so much scrutiny, people already think Arsenal are going to bottle it. People already believe Arsenal can't do it. Well, Arsenal have already been top of the league Christmas 4 times and they've not won, and the whole rhetoric, always the bride's never the bride, and all the different things we hear about Arsenal, Arteta, etc., etc. If Unai Emery is the guy that is the reason that Arsenal and Arteta don't win the Premier League this season, oh my days, the meltdown we would see would be unbelievable. Unbelievable. What do you guys think? I personally would be highly amused. I mean, I'm not an Arsenal fan, obviously, so I would be highly amused by that. Just the undercurrents to that whole thing. And I think, to be honest, even the most ardent Arteta if they lose the league because Emery wins it with Villa, I think the whole fan base, I just think complete meltdown. I do. I really think meltdown. Street says, no way, Jose, not happening. Are you saying no way you don't want it to happen? No way you think there's no chance of it? Let me know. Because I don't know if you're just telling me I'm mental or if you just absolutely don't want to see it. Marv says, I would want to see it just for the reaction from some streamers. Marv, there are a number of streamers, and not all of them Arsenal fans, that would be devastated if Arsenal don't win the league. There's one of them we know in particular might be quite upset with the whole situation. Streets is saying Villa title win would break the internet. Well, do you know what? Let's break it. Let's break the internet. Let's break all of it. I mean, if it happens, we're right here, front line, ready for it. Oh yes, Ash is now a mod. Because I realised in a conversation the other day that Ash wasn't a mod, and I thought, considering how often Ash joins me, gives up his spare time, does me a favour, comes on the channel and chats with me, tolerates my inability to use a computer, and is just generally a nice human being, how could I have gone this far without actually making him a mod? So I thought, wouldn't it be nice if I made him blue? Little Smurf, a little mod squad. Just a baby one, because we're only a baby channel, but sure, we're growing anyway. Streets is saying, this is different. City and Arsenal have too much to lose. Oh, because what did I miss? Marv, what did you say? We have to go back. We have to see the whole conversation, people. So Marv is saying that happened when Leicester won. And Streets is saying, this is different. City and Arsenal have too much. Do you mean too much in terms of experience, in terms of squads, in terms of overall? They're too big and too good that Villa just don't really have a chance. And let me see. Marv, what's Marv? Marv, you said something mad. If Arsenal bottle it and United finish outside of the top 10, who do I think gets sacked? Both of them. I think they could both go. We had a poll there a little while ago, and it was who goes first, Slot or Amorim. That seems to have quietened slightly on the Slot front. And what I will say, Mohamed Salah, do you know the way some players, when they go on international duty, maybe this is just United players, maybe your teams don't do this, but when the players go on international duty, they feel a little bit more liberated. They say things they wouldn't normally say. They become very open. They become very sharing, caring people. They tell everybody everything, and normally the media, and we get all these rumours about things that they're unhappy with, da 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 da. And so I did think maybe while Mohamed Salah was away, that he would play and that he would say things and that he would come out with stuff, and that we would start to hear maybe more things similar to what he had said in the mix zone. But whatever conversation was had internally before he went on international duty was obviously effective, because we haven't heard a peep. So while Liverpool are improving and they have got themselves up to 5th, they've won 3 of their last 5 games, as you can see here, and Salah and Slot aren't publicly slogging it out, I think Slot might be reasonably safe, which brings us back to Amram, because when you're the Manchester United manager, you're just never safe, especially because our form is dreadful. Like, we're down in 7th, and that's just like dreadful. I didn't expect us to beat Villa, being honest with you. But I mean, things aren't going overly great. When you're the Manchester United manager, you're always in danger. But I do think that's a good point, because if Arsenal bottle it, if Arsenal don't win this title, even if it's City that wins it, if Arsenal do not win this title, I mean, I can't tell an Arsenal fan how to feel, but if I pretend that I'm an Arsenal fan and I think, right, okay, if I was an Arsenal fan, I've given this man, say I'm an Arsenal fan and I'm currently Arteta in. Okay, we're going to play pretend. It's Christmas, we can have a bit of fun. So we're going to play pretend. I, in pretend land, would be an Arsenal fan that's Arteta in. I've given this man my patience. I've given this man my faith. I've given him my understanding. I have almost definitely defended him online, in group chats, in real life. If he bottles this, if he's top of the league at Christmas and he cannot hold on to it, I'm mad. I'm really big mad. Big mad. I would lose patience. So look, maybe I'm missing something, but the fans that are behind him, I think fair play to them, because honestly, you have more patience than me. I would have lost the BAP. I think if Arsenal lose it to City, it's one thing, and I think people will be annoyed, but I think people will understand. Look, City is just, they're unbelievable still. But if they lose it to Unai Emery's Aston Villa, I think he has to go. So I think if Arsenal bottle it and United finish outside the top 10, I think they both get sacked, to be quite honest with you. Flossie, how is a big mad Lou? Do you know what? I actually have a hoodie. If you ever see me wearing on the stream or on the pre-records, if you see me wearing the grey hoodie, it has actually, if you look at it, the mic might hide it sometimes, but on this side, it has a little logo and it's a picture of a cow. And maybe it's a little bull because she has horns, little bull cow. And on the top of it, it says Moody, like the way cows say moo, like kook, but it says Moody. And then on the back of it, it has a giant picture of the little cow bull with her little horns, and it says Moody, and it's one of my favorite hoodies. And when I'm not in a good mood, I just put on the Moody hoodie so people know to leave me alone because I'm feeling moody. No, I'm a bit passive aggressive when I'm angry. Right, let me go back up because I feel like I'm missing comments because I'm jumping in and out. I'm not seeing everything. I'm totally distracted. I'm even more chaotic than usual. I hope everybody's enjoying themselves. I hope you're all having a good time. Streets answered my question ages ago. My question was about why do Villa have no chance. Streets is saying Villa don't have a chance against the likes of an Arsenal or City just due to overall quality and depth. Look, I can understand that. It's hard to debunk that because it's true. But I wouldn't dismiss them, because while I agree with you, Streets, I do think they have less overall quality and depth than an Arsenal and a City. I just think it's naive, or maybe I'm naive, maybe I'm the naive one, but I think it's naive to completely count them out, because as we know, anything can happen in football. The league has, over the last few seasons, become more and more and more competitive. The difference between kind of the top teams and the middle teams used to be quite different. They were really segmented and there was a big drop off between them. Now there's not really. Now kind of the higher mid teams are sort of amongst the top teams, and the league as a whole has become more competitive. And I think that's because teams in general have now got to a higher standard. So while I do completely agree with you, Streets, I also don't think that they can be completely counted out in the way that I'm seeing some people do. And I'm not saying they're favourites or anything, and they're definitely going to do it. But I've seen some people just completely dismissing them. And I just think that's, first of all, it's a bit disrespectful. Second of all, you don't know. Like, nobody knows. None of us know. We're all guessing. And I just think some people say it with such certainty. And I don't think in football, particularly now that the league is so competitive, that you can be that certain. But maybe that's just me. Maybe I just like to sit on the fence. Let me see. But yeah. The amount of chances we miss that most other teams score. We are not clinical enough. We are not clinical. Do you know what I want to show you? Let me see. I'm going to find this and then I'm going to show you. So let's go to, I'm not going to say it out loud in case I can't find it and I look silly, because I'm afraid of looking silly on stream. I never look silly on stream. Not me. Right, I want the top players, my friend. I did this earlier and I found it and now I've lost it for myself. Maybe it was in here. Maybe it was in here. No, there should be a way to do this. This is where I need Ash, because when I can't find things, Ash is here and he talks me through it and then I find it. What I'm looking for is, do you know when you go to the Premier League, it shows you, like, there's normally a button that says players, and when you click players, it tells you the top players, but I can't seem to find it, even though I had it earlier. Anyway, let me see. No, it's not there. Well, anyway, what I was looking at, and the reason that it came into my head, I'll see if I can find it for another stream, because I've just lost it. I've lost it completely. But sure, look, there we are. The reason I was looking for it is what Streets is saying there about chances being missed. And I said the other day in my match reaction to the Manchester United game that Cunha needs to be more clinical and that he's getting himself into the right spots, but he's missing loads of them. So he just needs to be more clinical. And what I was actually looking, to be honest with you, was I was looking to see where Morgan Rogers was on the list of top scorers in the Premier League season so far, because obviously you have Erling Haaland, then you have Igor Thiago, and then you have kind of Igor Thiago's on 11, and then you have a few on kind of 9, and then I'm pretty sure Morgan Rogers was on 8 for the season so far. There was a chunk of them there on 8. There was no United player on the top 20, I think it was. Our striker wasn't in the top 50. The two players that we had in it, the highest players, were Mbeumo and Bruno. But then I looked and I had a little peek at the total shots. And so you've got total shots per match. And so you had Erling Haaland was top of that, and second in the Premier League for total shots taken was Matheus Cunha. He was nowhere near it on the actual goals, on the goals list. So it showed, yes, he's taking lots of shots, but he's not converting many of them. So it just brought it into my head that it was something I had mentioned the other day, and I was actually then able to find it accidentally. I was looking for something else, and that was what I found. So if I can find that for a different show, I will. But so let me see. Yes, so I think that's really all I wanted to say about Villa. I just think they're being treated a little bit unfairly, but I do understand kind of what Streets is saying about, well, they're being treated differently because they don't have the pedigree, and we know that Arsenal and City have the depth and the overall quality to be able to do it. We don't know about Villa, but I do think if they're the ones that manage to undo Arsenal this season, I just think it's going to be mayhem. But let me see what else you lot are saying. Dave Foyce says, here's the Grimsby manager is looking for a step up, ideal replacement. Bigger than my teacup. What was I talking about there? I know I was talking about something. And the little cow. Yeah, on the back of it, it's a really big little cow. Let me see. Cool. Oh, I do get a giggle. Ash, right. If I click this, Ash, is it going to do that? Right, let me see. Ash has done the business. Now, if I click this. Excellent. This is why I have Ash. He's just unbelievable, right? Share this tab. So, I don't know why I couldn't find this. But yeah, so there he is. Erling Haaland at the top. And as I said, what I was actually looking for was Morgan Rogers. So he's 7. So you can see there, Erling Haaland way, way out ahead on 19. Igor Thiago there on 11. Ekitike and Semenyo, the man of the moment, going to City potentially on 8. Danny Welbeck. Voltemada on 7. So Morgan Rogers, and we have been praising Nick Voltemada. We've been saying how good he is. We've been saying what a fantastic signing he is, how much he has added to Newcastle. And there's Morgan Rogers with the same amount of goals. So yeah, I just think sometimes the way we perceive players is based on their teams and their team's reputation. And obviously that's based on their traditional reputation within the Premier League. And given how much the Premier League has changed in the last number of years and is continuing to change before our very eyes, including this season, I just think maybe some of those assumptions can be inaccurate. I mean, he's got the same goals as Phil Foden and Richarlison. I mean, what a mix there with 7 goals. Welbeck, Voltemada, Morgan Rogers, Mateta, Richarlison and Phil Foden. That is an almighty mix of players on 7 goals. Some of these things, and like that, I was actually only looking for Morgan Rogers, but sometimes you find these things accidentally, and they're very, very interesting. But my goodness me, look at this. 19 goals. Now, say we take 19 goals, and we are potentially going to be adding another 8. Do you know what I mean? So just say he does sign for City in January, City would have 2 of the top 5 goal scorers so far in the league this season. I mean, isn't that just? It's enough to make you cry, lads. It's enough to make you cry. What else are you two saying? Oh, we're just United's poor recruitment. Fair enough. Yeah. With a bit of luck and a bit of quality. And look, we know he's a great player. We know Cunha is a really good player. We know what he can do. So we're not saying he's a bad player. He needs to just be more clinical. He needs to be more accurate. He's getting in the right positions to take the shots. That's why he has so many of them. But he needs to be taken more accurately. What else? Mbeumo has missed a bunch, but he has also scored a bunch. He was up there with Bruno for our top scorers so far this season. So that is why I didn't go into him too much, because while yes, he has missed a bunch, he has also scored a bunch. Right, I'm going to do your last comments here. There you go. Cunha has a 6.4% conversion rate. That sounds quite low. I don't know what the average is for a good one, but I mean 6.4 seems a little bit low. So I just think our players are getting in the right positions. They need to be more clinical. But I didn't want to turn it into a United stream. It's just sort of happened naturally. And that's what's nice when we go with the flow. But it's 1 minute past 8, lads. Carabao Cup is going. Arsenal, Crystal Palace. Come on, the Palace. Sorry, Arsenal. But yeah. So thank you so much for joining me, folks. Thank you so much to Ash for helping with the links, to all the mods, for everybody helping out. Thank you for spending some of your evening with me. Guys, I'm not going to see you before Christmas, so very Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy holidays. Lovely time. I hope everybody just enjoys himself, has a big dinner, just really have a lovely, lovely few days. And I will speak to you all very, very soon. Normal service after Christmas. As I said, if you're at a loose end over Christmas, Kate and Jimbo will be live. Do go check them out. Smash a like, share the video, leave some comments, and enjoy yourselves. Talk to you all very, very soon, people.